Something I used to do religiously was write. And writing was such a wonderful form of release for me that I carried my journal with me wherever I went. Sometimes they were these huge, thick books that I would fill in months, and other times they were just these little tiny notebooks that would take me a day or two sometimes just to fill with my thoughts, my stream of consciousness, my poetry, my teenage meanderings of the mind. And journaling or creative writing or expressing yourself through word can be incredibly releasing. Writing is a form of communication, and if you learn how to communicate to yourself, it can improve the way you communicate with the world around you, which will make your life better. Communication is the key piece to having a wonderful life. And if you learn how to communicate with that inner part of you, then a lot of things will fall better into place. Writing doesn't have to be structured. It can flow. It doesn't even have to make sense. It could be random words on a page. But one of the things I find when I allow myself to write, I'm taking this jumble of thought, these things zipping through in my mind, this stress and this process and this thing eating in the back of my head that I feel bad about, and I'm dumping them down on paper. And then they're not floating around in here anymore. I've taken them and acknowledged that they were there and put them down. And I can look at those words if I want to reread them and go, okay, I understand where that thought was coming from. It's no longer applicable to my situation. I'm going to let it go. Or this is an important thing for me to look at. I'm going to dig deeper here. Writing can allow you to really further examine the pieces in your life that need to be examined, to be dug into. When you allow yourself to do things in a creative fashion, you can create worlds for yourself. You can use that as a manifestation tool. You can look at the journey you want to create, the world, the feelings, the thoughts, the experiences, and build that. You don't have to limit yourself to this chaos. When you write stream of consciousness, you're tapping into that subconscious part of you. And those things that perhaps might not be so crystal clear will start coming out through those words. There's been some really interesting books written that way. And for those of you in the healing specter, you may have heard of Neale Donald Walsch. Some of his books, Through Conversations with God, were written in that same format. So when you give yourself time, even 5 minutes, to put down a few words, to take some of the stuff, the chatter, the thoughts that are happening in your mind, and put them down, you're giving yourself release. You're giving yourself time to sit, to be calm. And it doesn't have to be a physical pen, although that can be also very wonderful. You can type them out too. And you're taking all this stuff and releasing it. You're sitting and you're releasing it. You're expressing your inner self. And that means you're connecting to that inner self. When you write, sometimes it can be almost a form of meditation because you're present, you're in the moment, you're paying attention to just that one thought, that one thing that's presenting that wants to come out. You are focusing yourself and honing that ability. And meditation is just about being present and about having the ability to be in this moment and to be mindful of what's forward and in your current existence, your experience. So you can express yourself, you can connect in a meditative format, you can take these things that are all jumbled up and express them and release them, see their validity and weight on you, and then allow yourself to heal and dig deeper. And you can just calm your busy brain. Many people have multiple thoughts going on at the same time. Washing the dishes, and I'm thinking about what needs to be bought at the grocery store, and so said that thing. Did they really mean it this way, or did they mean it that way? And am I happy in my job? Maybe I want to go ask my boss for a raise, or maybe I just want to look for a new job. A lot of people have these same thoughts going through their brain at the same time, and that's a lot of chaos. So when you write, You take the time to put it all down, sort through it, and let it go. No one's going to judge you on your writing. You deserve to release in such a wonderful format. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful time expressing yourself through words.